Hello, everyone. My name is Holly. I'm from Idaho in the United States. And during this hour, we will be talking about corporate crime. So this is a type of topic that you will hear on the news, and you might discuss with different people about it. It's an interesting topic, and it's something that we hear quite often. So come practice your English by talking and discussing corporate crime. Let me show you the material. We'll start out with going through some vocabulary words regarding corporate crime. Then we will talk about different punishments that we think people will be, people should have if they are involved in this type of crime. And then we will discuss corporate crimes, and then we'll look at some vocabulary again. And then last but not least, we will read an article about the different types of corporate crime that has happened anywhere between 1995, or actually 1980 was the first one that we'll talk about, all the way up to 2005. So that is what we'll be doing today, is talking about corporate crime. So welcome all of you. Hello, Alejandro.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. And what time is it now in Argentina?
It's 6 p.m.
Okay.
in the
Okay, so
evening.
it's evening, so I can say good evening. So
Good evening.
yeah, good evening. And Adela, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks. In
And
Spain,
and and
11
what
p.m.
time is it? 11 p.m. All right. It's been a while since I've seen you, at least a week, I think. So anyway, yeah. And hello, Alexander. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing just great. Thanks for asking.
And and what time is it in Russia right now? In your part of Russia?
It is there. Uh, how does it say? Um, 0000.
Zero
12 a.m.
000. Okay. So you would call it, you would say midnight.
Yeah, midnight.
Midnight. All right. All right. Excellent. And hello, David. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing well, thank you.
Nice to see you again. And hello, Jose. How are you?
Hello, Holly. Fine. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. You don't teach on Sunday
Good.
usually, no? No, Holly?
I don't normally teach at this time on Sundays. Usually I teach
Okay.
during my time early in the morning and late at night. So yeah, usually not.
Okay. Okay.
But I
Usually
decided
no.
to this
Okay.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm actually gonna be changing my schedule a little bit. So anyway, Julio, how are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Excellent. Where are you from, Julio?
I am from Spain, Madrid.
Spain. Awesome. Okay. Well, nice to meet you. I am from Idaho in the United States. All right. Ksenia, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. And Joseph, nice to see you. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. Very good. And are you from or where are you from? Joseph, what country are you from?
Yes, I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Okay, excellent. All right. And hello, Greg. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
Excellent. Very good, very good. Nice to see you again. It's been a while since I've seen several of you several of you all. Yeah, just to remind you, on most of my classes, you can always get the link to the worksheet right here. Press on here and you can get the link. And I will give you guys, also put the link on the the chat. So thank you, Ahmed, for reminding me about the link for the material. The topic for today is corporate crime. And so what we are going to do actually is we're going to go over some vocabulary related to corporate crime. We are going to discuss, and after discussing, at the end of the class, we will actually do a reading as opposed to the other way around. So it should be an interesting topic. I hope you guys enjoy it. So first of all, let's go over some vocabulary. There's different types of corporate crime that we have out here. There's price fixing, there's false advertising, insider dealing, tax evasion, embezzlement, commercial bribery, industrial espionage, and copyright infringement. Okay. Does everybody have kind of an idea what most of those words mean? Do you have any questions here?
Like price fixing.
Price fixing is actually just changing the price to make it better for the seller instead of the buyer. So they'll change the price so that they can make a bigger profit. Okay. Any other words? And
I have no idea what embezzlement is.
Embezzlement, okay, and we'll learn this. But usually, when you embezzle, you are stealing money from the company. So your company, you are in charge of receiving money, and you just take a couple dollars or take a little bit every now and then. A lot of people who are bookkeepers and people in the accounts department have plenty of opportunities to embezzle money.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can match these. So let's start. Adela, could you read letter A over here on the right-hand side and see if we can match that?
Okay, giving money to an employee of your potential buyer to secure an advantage over your business competitors.
Okay.
Is maybe a commercial bribery, 6?
Yes, commercial bribery. Absolutely. Okay, 6. Okay. And sorry, somebody just came into my room and distracted me. Okay, so that is commercial bribery. Joseph, could you read letter B?
Okay. Illegally paying less tax than you should pay. This is number 4. Illegally paying. Okay, this is number 4. Tax evasion.
Yeah, tax evasion. Tax evasion, it's coming from to evade, which is to try not to be caught. All right, Alejandro, could you read letter C?
Keeping prices at a certain level by secret agreement between competitors. Price fixing.
Yes, that is price fixing. And that is where everybody pretty much keeps the price the same so that they can get a bigger discount. Ksenia, can you do number 9?
Marketing that gives incorrect information about the nature, characteristics, qualities, or geographic origin of a product or service.
Okay, and this is, let's just look at pronunciation just a little bit. Geographic.
Geographic.
Geographic origin. Geographic origin. Okay, and what would that be, Ksenia?
It's to false advertising.
Good. False advertising. Or
Advertising.
well, that's American English. In British English, advertising. So what you said was right. Advertising is British English. American English, advertising. And since I'm an American, I'm going to pronounce it that way, of course. All right. And Alexander, can you do letter E?
Yes, reproducing, distributing, displaying, or performing something without permission from the creator. This is copyright infringement.
Copyright infringement. Okay, let's look a little bit about pronunciation, and I think a lot of this feedback will help a lot of you. The first one, reproducing. So this
Reproducing.
Yeah, the stress is in the first in the beginning and the end. Reproducing. Now the second one, the stress is in a different section. It's distributing. Distributing. So reproducing, distributing, and displaying.
Displaying.
Or performing. I think you did displaying and performing correct. But reproducing, distributing, displaying, or performing. All these ing words where you have to pronounce the ing, that's stressed. So very good though. All right, and we have Julio. Have you read one? Yeah, Julio, could you read F?
Yes, stealing company money that you were trusted with. You told me before, embezzlement.
Okay, yeah, so you got the same one. Awesome. So, all right, excellent. All right, and then David, could you read letter G?
Yes, stealing trade secrets by copying or recording confidential information for use by a competitor. I think it's 7. Industrial, and I don't know how to pronounce this word in English. Espionage.
Okay, this one would be industrial espionage.
Industrial espionage.
Espionage, yes. Okay, and also another feedback on some pronunciation, David. Competitor.
Competitor, okay.
Yeah, competitor. Okay, and then the last one, Jose, can you read that one?
Okay. Using confidential information about a company to buy or sell its shares. Copyright infringement.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Copyright, is that correct? Bear with me a moment. Copyright infringement.
It was letter E.
No, it's letter E. Copyright infringement is letter E, sorry. It's another one. I just didn't put it there.
Sorry.
There's another one up here.
Yes.
So, using confidential information about a company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Insider dealing.
Yeah, and now there's another word that you might hear on the news, also called insider trading. Insider trading is sometimes you'll hear that if you're watching CNN or something like that. Insider trading for that. All right. So can you guys think of any other examples of corporate crime? So we've got these. Can you think of anything else? I personally cannot. So, yes.
When a company recruit people without a contract, or yes, I don't know exactly the word in English, but here is dark work or dark working.
Oh yes, exactly. Okay. That would be yeah, when you hire illegals,
Yes, yes.
hire people illegally. And that there's really, I don't think there's any true word for that. Just hiring illegals, illegal aliens. Or did you guys know that if you're not if you're in a country illegally, you are called in English we call you an alien. Hire illegal aliens. So. Also, in popular culture, an alien is someone from another culture too. I mean, another planet, for example. Another example is the sale of unsafe products. And then the final one would be money laundering. Does everybody know what money laundering would be?
No, I don't know the meaning of money laundering.
Okay, money laundering. What it is, for example, you get money for something illegally through drugs or something like that, but you need to make it. Okay. Yeah, you may get money from drugs, but you need to make it kind of legal money. So what you do is you end up putting it through an organization, and so you're buying services from a company, and you're really not getting anything. You're just that company. It's a fake company, and it's just taking the money through. It's like transferring from account to an account would be considered money laundering sometimes. So.
And
yes, Cassinia?
And also, I think a gray salary or salary in an envelope.
Yes, yeah, hiring under the table. Under the table. And that's where you hire without paying taxes. So it's kind of like illegal hiring. Definitely that's how illegals, aliens are paid, but also if you decide, if an employee or somebody decides they want to work for you, but they don't want to that money to be reported to the government. So that would be hiring under the table. And did somebody else have another one?
Yes, there was a similar expression. It sounds like to do deals under the table.
Yes. If you do deals under the table, basically you are basically receiving money for services, but it is not going in the books. So if it's under any type of deal or anything that goes under the table does not go in the books. It's usually done in cash, and the person who receives the money just spends it, and it is not reported. So, so that it would be under the table. Billing under the table. Okay. All right. So, anything else? I don't know about you, but most of these I've learned through movies, so no personal experience. So let's look at the list of punishments below. Together, let's put them in order from 1, most lenient, to 5, most severe. So we have a compensation order, an immediate dismissal, a prison sentence, a heavy fine, or life imprisonment. Okay, so Greg, can you choose one that would either be what you think would either be most severe or least severe?
The most severe, it will be a prison sentence.
Actually,
sorry. No, life imprisonment.
Okay, life imprisonment. Okay, yeah, that would be the most most severe. Do you guys know of anybody who has received a life imprisonment for corporate crime, also known as white collar crime?
Politicians here.
Really? Politicians?
Yes, it's very common. Corruption is very high.
Oh, okay. And so you get politicians who get life imprisonment. And wow, okay.
Life imprisonment is when the people are resting in her house. His house.
No, that's house arrest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, house arrest is what you're thinking of, and yeah, that's I think a lot of life imprisonment is when a person goes to prison for the rest of their life. So a lot of murderers get life imprisonment.
Ah, okay. No, in that case, no politician.
Okay.
Isn't the category of people who were selling drugs, or maybe they have some kind of illegal business, isn't a good example of those kind of crimes?
Yeah, for life imprisonment. Yeah, it could be. I'm thinking more people. It depends on the country, of course. And I know in the States, people who get life terms are usually people who commit murder, and they usually commit more than one murder. But it depends on your country what type of, who would go into life imprisonment. So, I think drug dealers usually get like 20 to 30 years. So that could be life imprisonment for them. So, all right. So, David, what would you consider? What would be number 4?
A prison sentence.
Prison sentence. Yes. Okay. And Alexander, what would be number 3?
Number 3. Maybe heavy fine.
A heavy fine.
Compensation order.
I'm sorry. No. I just missed their.
Okay.
I think the heavy fine and compensation order.
Okay, yeah, compensation order would be the correct one. A compensation order. And what is the difference, you guys, between a heavy fine and a compensation order? And hello, Ahmed. How are you? Okay, so what is the difference between anybody know the difference between a compensation order and a heavy fine? Yes?
Yes, heavy fine is just a fine with a big amount of money, but a compensation order, it when the government take all from you, your house, your car, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Your money,
and
your bills.
Exactly, and with a compensation order, it's a lot more money, where a heavy fine might be a couple $1,000s, where a compensation order would be very, very stiff, very heavy as far as money. But both of them, a heavy fine and compensation order means money. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ksenia. So what would number 2 be, Jose?
Number 2, heavy fine.
A heavy fine. Okay. Excellent. All right. And yes, Jose.
There's an amount, quantity of money.
Yes. Yeah. And then the last one would be the most lenient, would be an immediate dismissal. What does that mean, anyone?
That this person would be fired.
Fire the guy or fire the person who did this work.
Say that again, Yosef.
It's mean fire. Okay, and
fired.
Immediate dismissal. Yeah, fire.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And Greg, was that what you were saying as well? That the person would be fired?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, because you both talked at the same time. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So together, let's discuss which punishments are normally given in your countries for people who are found guilty of crimes in Exercise 1, and it can also be for the ones that we came up with. So so let's start with oh, hello, Ahmed. Are you there?
Hi, how are you, teacher?
Nice to
I'm
see
sorry
you.
late, but I start from beginning, but I can't have a reception.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Well, yeah, because you've been here. I think you watched from the outside for a while. Awesome. Well, welcome. And where are you from, Ahmed? Is it?
I said the protection and working for the radio.
Okay, Saudi Arabia. Okay, awesome. All right. So Adela, can you choose one of these crimes? And for example, this is an example. If you are found guilty of embezzlement, you can get a prison sentence. Or if you are found guilty of copyright infringement, you can be ordered to pay compensation. So can you choose a crime and say what would happen in Spain?
Tax evasion, I think is a corporate crime that need to have a heavy fine. For example, in Spain,
Okay.
normally it's a heavy fine. If the quantity is more important, maybe a prison sentence is a possibility, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. And Ahmed, did you choose a crime and tell us what would happen in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, يعني not more crimes because of the government here, but hard procedure for crime, for criminals.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Here in Saudi Arabia, there is not more crimes because government put hard procedure to criminals.
Okay, so in Saudi Arabia, there are not many crimes because the government gives very, we would say very stiff, we could say stiff penalties.
That's it.
Stiff penalties for criminals. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Punishment.
Yeah. So if somebody is found embezzling from their company, would they get life imprisonment or a prison sentence?
Again, please.
Embezzlement, that's where they steal money from their company?
If somebody steal money from company, will be
Excuse me, say that again.
Nobody can steal here because there's a stiff penalty against anybody steal money, small money or big amount of money.
Okay, it's a very stiff penalty. Okay, thank you.
But
all right.
every country there is crimes, but here not so many crimes.
Not as many. Okay, because people are scared of, or people are very good at committing crimes and they don't get caught.
No, they are not good. they are afraid of stiff penalty.
Yes, exactly. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Alejandro. How about in Argentina? What happens with some of these crimes?
It depends on the crime, but generally the company is paid privately. I don't know the word exactly, but I think it's privately.
Privately? They pay a penalty?
Yes. No, I don't exactly the word. When they pay to the police. for example.
Oh, okay. If they pay. Okay, so that would be basically a bribe. Right? They basically they pay bribery money.
Yes,
Or
yes,
yeah.
bribery, yes.
Or the verb to bribe. So they bribe the police. Is what they do. So you don't hear a lot about corporate crime in Argentina because they just bribe the police. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
All right. Thank you. And Alexander, how about in Russia?
I'm sorry. Can you remind me what kind of penalties I should talk about?
Yeah. Any of these or any others that you may know?
Any of these? Any other?
Yeah.
Commercial for I'll choose the commercial bribery, and is very common, and that is why it's not so scary, but you probably will be fired after that.
Okay. So
and maybe after firing you, you maybe will have to pay some fine. Maybe not heavy, but it depends on the amount of money that you've been stealing.
Mm-hmm. Now, I heard from a friend of mine who he travels pretty much all around the world for his company. He's a CEO of actually he took over his dad's company that he started in India, and he told me that in Russia you really can't do business in Russia without bribery, without commercial bribery. Is that true?
At some point, yes.
Okay.
But
yeah.
not so commonly. I'm sorry, it's not so common, but there is an opinion about it. There is, and there are companies who prefer doing like this.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's what he had told me. I was waiting for a contract from Russia actually that never came. About 2 years ago, and when I was talking to him about it, he said, "Oh yeah, it probably means that the people who offered you the contract are waiting for a bribe from somebody." So I was like, "Oh wow." So I don't know if that's the truth, but anyway, David, can you choose a crime and what would happen in Spain?
I think, for example, on copyright infringement, it depends of the amount of money you can get from this business, but you can pay a fine or you can go to prison.
Okay, so it depends on how much was done, and remember, instead of depends of, it's always depends on.
Yes.
So, okay. All right. Thank you, Greg. How about in Poland?
Okay, so maybe I will talk about hiring aliens because that is quite a popular crime in this country. So you can expect a quite heavy fine. It could be equal to, because I'm thinking right now in dollars to make it much easier for everyone. It could be for one person. It could be $3,000.
Wow.
It could be, multiplied to 6 times in some cases. That is the lowest. It could be could be if it is a 3. If we take it as a 6, it could be $18,000. So.
Wow. So they've better made more money off of that person to make it worth it.
Actually, it's quite popular, and I cannot really give you any information on how it really works, I would say that it's happening. It has something to do with the benefits, because people are worried about the pension. And we have, if Poland is probably, you have to be a genius about taxes. I was study about taxes, and it wasn't. It's this whole finance field in Poland is one big mess. It's probably, if we think about the position of Poland in about taxes and the whole finance, it's one of the most complicated, complex systems in the world. One of them, it's like you have to think about the position of this country, 140 something.
Wow.
Yeah, but I would say, the problem is with the clerks, because clerks are usually can easily close the business, because in this case the fine is too high for because sometimes.
So the problem is with the clerks? Is that what you said?
Yes, clerks, because public institution, they just come to the small business and they say, I don't see this, couple of cents on the cashier. I close the business, because if you give the owner that he'll have to pay a couple of $1,000, it means over for him.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen in the case of big corporation unfortunately, from America, UK, because they usually don't pay taxes in our country, which is quite strange.
Yeah, they've got the. Do you guys know the word clout?
Clout.
Yeah, this is my word. Clout. The bigger companies who have millions of dollars to spend in either a company or a country, they have a lot of clout, and so they're able to negotiate better deals, like less taxes if they move into a country because of that clout. And basically, it means power.
Yeah, it's in our country. It's just politicians make for them special rights, because they're afraid if they move out from the country, they will have higher statistics of unemployed people, and that help them to motivate to make those kind of actions.
Exactly, and that's basically the meaning of clout. So the companies have clout over these politicians. So yeah, all right, Jose, can you choose a crime?
Industrial espionage.
Okay, and what happened?
The punishment in Spain could be a heavy fine or a prison sentence, depending on the amount of money that the company has stolen with the industrial espionage.
Yeah, the amount of money, or just the amount of the proprietary information. Excellent, thank you, Jose. All right, now Joseph, how about in your country? What happens?
Okay. In my country, I can choose from the privacy list. We can say it's just like all the countries, but because we don't have here tasks, so the most crime here we can say corporate infringement. We can say industrial espionage. We can say price fixing. Price fixing. This is the most crime here.
Industrial
actually,
espionage. Espionage.
espionage, yes. Yes.
Okay, so that would be the most crime, and like Ahmed said that there's a lot of stiff penalties in your country for those kind of things. Is that true?
Again, please.
Yosef. Well, Yosef is from Saudi Arabia too. I was just confirming
Yeah.
what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
here, there is crime in Saudi, sure.
Yeah. Yosef.
In my work, there is bribery, commercial bribery.
Yeah, commercial bribery. Okay. And Yosef, would you agree with Ahmed that there's the penalties are very, very stiff in Saudi Arabia if people are caught?
Yes. Yes, I agree with Ahmed. Here the penalty and they are implementing for anyone who trying to do anything.
Who think to steal.
Yeah. Who even think about it, huh? Okay.
Yeah, it's good matter, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll choose one for my country. My country, I would say that, for example, embezzlement, depending on how much you embezzle from the company. For example, I live in a very small town of about 800 and just under 900 people, and about 5 miles from me is another small town of probably about the same size. And the city clerk in that town embezzled almost $2 or $3 million in a period of years. And
oh my God.
Yeah, and it kind of was it's close to home because my brother-in-law is a city clerk to this town. So that's how I found out. He was telling me about it, and she ended up in prison. So. I'm pretty sure. So, but the thing is that the prison terms for white-collar crimes like that are not very long. Probably, 3-4 years, if that long. So, all right. So let's go on. So David, number one, which types of crimes, corporate crime, do you think are the most serious?
I think that those crimes that can damage the health of the persons, of the people. I think if, for example, if you are building and you use low quality materials to build, and then the build can fall down. I think it's a very serious crime.
Yeah, that actually happened in Korea when I was living there. It was the summer of 1995, and a shopping center. I remember I used to walk by it, but the shopping center, it was a pink building, and it collapsed from the top on down, and hundreds of people died because they were down in the basement in the grocery store. Yeah, it was, and the reason the shopping center collapsed was exactly that. That they did corporate bribery, and they bribed the inspectors when they were building. So, all right, Alexander, what types of corporate crime do you think are the least serious?
I think some fights with your colleagues. Maybe it's not considered to be a crime, but at some point, sometimes it can be considered to be a crime. But also, I would say that some small bribery commercials, because it is small, and I think everyone at least one time have had an experience in doing this, and probably personally I've never done this before, but I think in the future I will be reluctant.
You probably have to.
Yeah, and I don't know. I will see how my life will go, but I hope that I won't have to be doing this. But so now I'm thinking what I didn't mention. Um, maybe I don't know whether it is considered or not to be a crime. I'm talking about being late.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yeah. Well,
but
being
it's
late isn't a crime. I don't think that's being late can't be a crime, is it?
In this situation, the rest of their crimes are considered to be very serious, and they always punish in some strict way.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you, Alexander. Alejandro, in your opinion, should corporate crimes be punished more severely? Number 5.
Yeah, sure. But if the judgment don't work appropriately, if you had more penalties, and it's not the solution, I think.
Okay. All right. And Greg, have you ever been asked for a bribe?
No, I wasn't in this situation, but I saw a person who actually was, quite known for doing this kind of stuff, but he didn't ask me.
Okay. So did you ever wonder, okay, what would I do if I were asked for a bribe?
Actually, it's a couple of years of prison in this case for the person who is just giving the money and person who is taking the money. So I know the consequences, how it could finish.
Yeah. So those are not good consequences, actually.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. All right. No. Wait. Okay. Ahmed, have you ever been asked for a bribe?
Yeah, many times.
Oh yeah. So
project manager, all contracts leads ask me for a bribe for every project. Contracted for skeleton, concrete skeleton, and contracted for finishing work. So one of them asked me for a bribe to make it make the job, give him more money for the job. He doesn't appreciate money, but I punished him and I tell my manager.
Okay, so when he was asked you for a bribe, what kind of punishment did he get? Was it immediate dismissal or?
No, we have a contract with him. We made him a punishment. We took money from his contract.
Okay, he took money from his contract. Okay, so it was a fiscal punishment. Okay, all right. Yeah. And Jose.
Yes.
In your opinion, which types of corporate crime do you think are the most serious?
The most serious, I think the most serious is when you steal money. I think it could be the most serious, or when you for example, when you steal money, it's serious. When you, for example,
okay, so
insider dealing or tax evasion, things like that, I think are very serious.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. All right, and I just noticed the time, so for us to read this article, we need to get started now. So Joseph, we're gonna start with this one. So if you could read the first paragraph, I'll read the first top part. Corporate scandals. Everybody loves to gossip about corporate scandals, whether they involve greed, bribery, fraud, or corruption. Big scandals usually make headline news and tend to have a significant impact on the economy. Here are 5 of the biggest scandals in modern history. Joseph, could you read number 1, Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme?
Okay. Bernie Madoff was an investment advisor and former chairman of the Nasdaq stock market. He operated a massive Ponzi scheme that managed to defraud some of the smartest people in the world of at least $65 billion. Federal investigators believe the fraud began as early as the mid-1980s and may have begun as far back as the 1970s. In 2009, Madoff was confessed of fraud and sentenced to 150 years in prison.
Okay, so Madoff was convicted, is how we say it. Convicted of fraud. Okay, and also this one was $65 billion instead of $65 billion, so $65 billion. Okay, all right. So number 2, Enron. Adela, could you read that one?
Enron, 2001. At the beginning of 2001, the U.S. energy company Enron was the 7th largest company in America. However, in order to make the company seem more profitable than it really was, its director and executive were hiding a larger loss with the aid of accounting firm Arthur Andersen. When the accounting fraud was discovered, Enron share dropped from $19 to $0.50.
50 cents.
50 cents. The company was forced to file for bankruptcy. Many of its directors eventually went to prison.
Okay, so I think you've heard this before. Try to pronounce all the S's at the end of these
Directors.
words. Yeah, directors, and then losses.
Losses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All the S's right
Yes.
there.
I lose.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah, you'll get it eventually. So, okay, WorldCom. Alejandro, can you read WorldCom?
Yes. In another U.S. accounting scandal, WorldCom, the second largest U.S. long-distance phone company, filed for bankruptcy in 2002. After falling share prices, it was found that the directors had used fraudulent accounting method to push up the stock price and inflate the company's assets by over 11 billion. In 2004, the company was eventually purchased by Verizon Communication and rebranded.
Okay, and the same issue. You'll eventually get it, Alejandro. This one was filed and
Fi-
used. So instead of
Filed.
filed and used. So remember the ed, except in certain small situations, filed and used. So the e is silent there.
Okay,
Okay.
furious.
Yeah. All right. And then David, could you read number 4?
Yes. Barings Bank, 1995. Barings Bank was the oldest merchant bank in London, founded in 1762 by the German Baring family. In 1995, the bank had to declare insolvency after suffering losses of £827 million as a result of poor investments by an employee named Nick Leeson. The Rogue Trader tried to cover up his mistakes, but he was caught and sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. While in prison, Leeson published an autobiography which was eventually made into a film in 1999.
Right, thank you. And remember, as far as pronunciation, it was very good, David. The one area also is the past tense ed. Sentenced.
Sentenced. Okay.
So this one is more like a T sound, okay? And then number 5, Jose, can you read that one?
Yes. Parmalat S.p.A. is a multinational Italian dairy and food corporation. In 2003, 14 billion whole was discovered in the company's accounting records, and its founder, Callisto Tanzi, was accused of diverting company funds. Hundreds of thousands of investors lost their money, and the company became the largest bankruptcy in European history. Tanzi was charged with financial fraud and money laundering and was sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Okay, thank you, Jose. Remember when you have the past tense ed, so it's sentenced,
Sentenced,
charged. Yeah, so the past tense.
The D at the end. Okay.
Yeah, so, and I didn't mean to, but I just had almost all the Spanish speakers read, and all of you had the same problem. So, charged, ed.
Charged.
I decided to go every other one, and it turns out you're all the Spanish speakers. So, Greg, Greg, which of the scandals is the biggest in your opinion?
I don't know. I have to think. Quite big numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that probably it will be one of those $2 million. I think the fourth, number 4.
Okay, number 4, Fort Barings Bank. In money-wise, yeah. So
yeah.
that's definitely money-wise. Yeah. All right. It looks like we are out of time. I do thank you all for your participation, and I wish I had more words for everybody to read. I should have done it differently. But I thank you all for your participation again, and I hope you learned a little bit, a few words. And I'll see you all in another class, maybe. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Goodbye.